Hey, comic book fans, YouTube fans, Walking Dead fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner, and you're with me, Spider Slayer, getting ready to do another comic book review. And this one, as promised, The Walking Dead issue number 101. Man, guys, let me just tell you, I've been waiting for this bad boy for a while, and it seemed like it's been forever since Glenn's death. And we're on part 5, believe it or not, of the Something to Fear story arc. This story arc has been phenomenal. We were all upset about Glenn's death, and now we're going to see how the group moves on and carries forward without our buddy Glenn. I made a couple predictions in the story so far on The Walking Dead, what was to happen after issue 100. And one of my predictions was Maggie was not going to go to the hilltop. And my other prediction was that Jesus was going to join the group. One of those predictions was right and one of them was wrong. And one of them was Maggie goes to the hilltop and stays there. And the other one was Jesus does join the group. So I was 50-50 on that. But anyway, just to let you guys know ahead of time, there's spoilers in this book. If you guys know this by now, a lot of you guys watch my channel for the Walking Dead reviews, and I do give away all the spoilers. So if you don't want to see the spoilers, read the issue first, then come back and see my reactions and my thoughts to this issue. So with that said, we're going to go forward now, and here we're at The Walking Dead issue 101, and we have our cover, which is the continuation of this series with all the mysterious characters that you've seen, which is obviously now you guys know is Negan's group. He has like 100 men, maybe more. He's all powerful. And playing around on the internet, okay, I also found a variant to this cover, and this is called the Ghost variant. We don't know how many there were made. There's only so many in certain stores, and this is, like I said, what they call the Ghost variant, and it's like a retro type of 70s style art on there. And that's obviously Michonne on there with her katana sword and her big afro. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I thought that was cool. This cover is ultra rare, so if you're lucky to get one, God bless you. And congratulations to you, because I'm sure that this is a hard variant cover to find. Next, give you a little close-up of what the artwork looks like in the book. We have a zombie, one of the lone zombies in this particular book, getting speared in the head. So that was pretty cool. And another really good picture in this book was Maggie punching Rick after Glenn's death. So that was really cool also. But with that being said, we are now going to get started with this book. And let me just tell you guys, this book was quick. The last issue had a lot more pages to it because it was like an issue and a half. Now that it's back to regular size, I read this in 2 minutes. Literally. There's not that much dialogue in the book. A lot of pictures to look at, things of that sort, but nevertheless, it was a great read, and it just wants you wanting more. I mean, that's the way the book is. But when we left off in the issue, we obviously know that Glenn got clobbered to death by Negan, and Negan's group gave him 1 week to gather the supplies. we don't know what's going to happen within a week. But we know that if Rick and the group don't comply, something obviously is going to happen. In the very opening pages, you see Rick and the group still on their knees as Negan's truckload of people are driving away. And for the last time, we're going to see Glenn face down. Actually, no face. But he is face down and he's dead. And this is one of the last times you'll ever see Glenn in this book. And Rick and Maggie are just bawling, just dying. They just can't believe it. Next thing you see was pow! Right here. Maggie just punching Rick out, man. And she's like, you, excuse the language, you fucking coward. She's all angry. She's like, how'd you let this happen? She's like, you let them kill him. He was your friend, goddamn. She was furious, man. And then she just clocks him again. And then again. Boom, left, right. Left, right, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, he's just getting knocked around, and he knows she's getting her frustration out, and Rick's like, oh man, why'd you stop? Why'd you stop? Carl gets all upset. I was like, oh, look at this, and he busts out the gun. He's like, you leave my dad alone, and you're like, oh man, look at his face he's got here. He's just about to bust a cap in her ass. I'm telling you, man. This guy, he's going to be crazy when he gets older. And then Sophia, when have you ever seen Sophia get any action? Then she tackles Carl. Carl's like, oh, shit, you know? And she bites Carl here. And that is insane right there. And they're just like, she's like, that's my mom. And she's beating Carl up. And Heath comes in, and she's like, come on, let's go. And he's just like, oh, is that enough? And after all the whole drama, they can't stay here. There was a lot of full pages, there's a couple full pages like this in this issue. And Rick's like, we can't stay here. And Glenn's wish was for Maggie and Sophia to go to the hilltop and to stay there. And he said it was safe, and so Maggie's going to honor his wish, and she's going to go there. She's still going to go there, and she wants to bury Glenn there. Rick tries to apologize to Maggie, and she just walks away, and she's like, no. So they gather their thoughts, and Sophia and Carl make up, and he said he was never going to shoot her dad, or shoot her mom. And she blames herself for everyone dying in her family, and Carl's just like, that's just the way it is now. And then all of a sudden you just see his the lone zombie in there. Well, we just got to throw in the zombie now just to make it, because it's still a zombie book. So we're going to throw in the one zombie gets spear chucked in the head. So he gets knocked down. These two guys, Eduardo and the other dude, they're guarding the hilltop's walls. And they're driving the van to the hilltop. And Rick just comes out of the van once they get to the hilltop, and he's like, and Jesus is like, oh my God, what happened? And he sees Glenn, and he's like, oh God, Negan? And Rick is like, yes. And right away, Rick, he's got that pissed off look on his face. He goes right to Gregory, and Gregory's like, he goes, oh my God, you saw Negan? I can't believe you saw him. He's like, did you tell him about our agreement? He's like, does he know I sent you after him? He goes, does he know? And he's like freaking out. And Rick just punches him in the face. And you kind of think, and I was thinking of this, do you think Gregory is secretly working with Negan to tell him about Rick and everybody else? I don't know, but it seemed kind of fishy. It was going through my head. I'm not sure. Because Rick makes a very important point. And he says that you didn't tell me that he had 100 men. You didn't give me any insight to what was going on with Negan. And he's like, and Gregory's like, I didn't even know Negan existed. He's like, I've never seen him before. I had no idea how many men he has. He's like, Rick, you got to believe me. And Jesus just pulls Rick away, and it's just like, okay, well, let's go. And and Rick doesn't believe him. Jesus is trying to defend him, but Jesus said before that Gregory is not a leader. And Maggie opts to stay in at the hilltop, and she leaves Sophia behind. But something tells me this is not going to be the last we see of Maggie. And Jesus says, you know what? I want to go. I want to have the information. I want to find out what Negan's all about. So there you go. There's what I predicted. First, I predicted Maggie was going to stay with the group, but she's not, so I was wrong about that. But Jesus joins the group, and I was right about that. And now they're heading back to the community, which I predicted that they were going to head back as well, and that obviously that the community was going to get attacked, which it did. And as you see here, as they're heading back, just driving the van as fast as they can go, Rick is like, no. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen? I was like, oh God. And you see, sure enough, you see the van's crashed into the fences. And we find out that Rick is like, stay inside. And he's going to run, and he's going to run inside. And anyone, Nicholas comes out, and he's just like, it was attack morning, and he's like, there was 50 of them. 50 came out. But Nicholas said, or Andrea winds up coming up, and she's like, Rick, and she's alive, and there's a lot of people that are still alive. Everything seems all good, and but they said that, they killed like something like a dozen of them, and then they retreated. Then they took a hostage, and the hostage that they took out of all people, and now shit's really gonna hit the fan because they have a hostage. Negan's gonna come back. This is not a part of the agreement. Something big is going to happen. And it says, think this asshole will be useful? And we all remember this guy, right? This was the prick that killed Abraham with his crossbow. And he's being held hostage. And he's also the one that Eugene took care of business in issue 99, I think it was, when he was biting down on the private parts there. So that's pretty crazy. This guy's weird. He's all burnt on one side, and it's got the watery eyes. So we're going to see where this goes here, guys. But it was a quick read, in my opinion. But The Walking Dead always is. But nevertheless, a great issue. I just wish something more happened. I wish this series came out like every week or something like that. I love it so much, and I'm too impatient to wait for the trade. I have the first so many trades, but God, I had to read issue by issue. But again, great issue. There's just a lot that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. There's only 2 more issues to Something to Fear is over, and then this arc is going to be over. So we'll see what happens from here, guys. But you guys know what I'm going to give this. It's going to be a 5 out of 5. Everything is good about it. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the guy with the crossbow. And we're going to see when Negan comes back and what's going to happen to our characters in the future. So a lot to look forward to, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this full walkthrough of The Walking Dead issue 101. Leave me your thoughts below on what you thought of this issue if you already read it. And leave me your thoughts on this review. And tell me what you guys think about what's going to happen in the future of The Walking Dead series. And remember, if you want a thumbs up, go ahead and thumbs up, but write it, please, because I disabled the thumbs up, thumbs down option now. Okay, guys? So, guys, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner. And this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.